This? Yeah, do we have sound? Hello, good morning. Hello, Labinox. How are you doing today? Yeah, I don't know what happened. I guess I didn't test the microphone before we started. I was like, oh yeah, sure. I plugged it in last night. I made sure all the wires were going. I'm sure we're fine. And then, yeah. Oh no, lots of people in your company fired because of AI. Interesting. What type of jobs are AI actually taking over in there? Like a lot of the companies that I've heard of like attempting to do that have like either reversed or are like not doing well because like customer support or other things not working out. Docs officer, junior interns, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Those are things that are easily replaced by AI. And some of the QA team, interesting. Technical QA or like engineering QA or manual QA? I would imagine that manual QA is definitely they've been a risk since before AI because there's a lot of tools that replace all of that. But yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully they can find new positions or skill into different positions that are a little bit safer for right now. All right, so what is today's plan? Today's plan is to oh, Ved. Hello. How are you doing today? They're already working at smaller company. Oh, so they already got jobs? Excellent. That's great to hear. It's always nice to hear people who something bad like this happens to them and then they're immediately able to get jobs at other companies. Ved, you're doing great. Awesome. That's really good to hear. So today we're continuing to work on the LMS and to implement features and other things. I reset our done. We had done two things last Tuesday. We are in the progress of working on mobile UI ticket, which is a pretty big rewrite of our styling essentially for mobile because there was no thought that I put into this when I first designed it. So now it's like, okay, thought time. We have to do thought because more people than I expected are using mobile for this, which is like, okay, I can actually see that now. Now that I think about it, it's like, okay, I can see that. You work at a big company, CEO is dub smash about AI. So I have a theory. I have a theory that oh, in the end, engineers who utilize AI are going to be replacing all of those people that are claiming that engineers will be replaced by AI. I have no like evidence for this theory, but it's my thought process is engineers we're really good at adapting, at learning, at improving, at exploring new technologies, and AI is just a new technology for us to use. And if we play our cards right, we might be able to come out on top. Mainly as the users of AI. Will our jobs be the same as we are right now? Probably not. But will we be able to like still be employed and doing stuff, even if it's self-employed to make money? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll like fracture and we won't have giant companies anymore, and we'll have just a ton of really small companies. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so we have a couple things in inbox that we should probably verify. So as a learner using mobile Safari and Reader View, I want to mark an article complete. I have no idea if this is possible, but this was requested from Blah because everything was just working. Now, maybe we don't need to use this in Reader View, so this is a pretty low priority one. But this would like include research into like how reader view really works, because I don't actually know. I've barely even used it, even though I have Apple devices. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll mark this. It's going to be an LMS. It is technically an enhancement, but this is going into just normal backlog. Third floor draft. Hello. How are you doing today? AI. Well, I got some magic beans. They will solve everything easily. Don't worry. Technically, people not required. I swear. What day is it again? I know. We've been doing this for a long time. And every time in history that we've had a technology that displaces a lot of jobs, which has happened many times, usually more jobs open up. The problem usually ends up being that the jobs that open up aren't of the same skill level as the people who got displaced. So if you lose your job to AI, it will be harder to find a new job doing exactly the same thing of what you've done. But maybe if we skill up and like we continue growing, it's sort of like surfing on a wave, right? You have to paddle to catch up to it, and then you can catch the wave and then travel with it, and then you can grow and like you get even more skillable that way. Stacking, hello. How are you doing today? You read the announcement as Ruby web development and was pretty confused at first. I'll blame on holiday Monday. Yeah, it is a holiday Monday here in the US. It is Easter observed, which I don't celebrate, but I know a lot of people do. A lot of people over here celebrate it as a hey, we don't have to work day, which is awesome. Out of curiosity, is today a holiday in many other countries too? In the US, we get like, okay, so there's 10 federal holidays, and then many companies add like a couple more, so like you get, I don't know, up to 14 days off per year, maybe. Okay, so it is in Nepal. Interesting. Ruby is awesome. I've used Ruby a little bit, but I've never really like made anything Ruby. I've just sort of like updated things that were built in Ruby. All right, let's take a look at this ticket. So this one is a little bit worse. So I had set up a verify email account, and I maybe have been just a little bit overzealous with the sending of the emails, because apparently I'm sending out every time somebody attempts to log in, whether or not it's successful, whether or not they are verified or not. So this is kind of it's kind of a thing. So I'm going to convert that. I guess this might not be an issue because it's not like code for the LMS. So I'm going to leave that out of an issue. This needs to go to ready current stage, and I would almost argue that this is a like, hey, I need to take care of this now, so I don't don't have to pay a lot of money per month. You only work 9 months in a year? Oh, that's so much better than we have here. It's I watched a few of those like Europeans react, or somebody like reacts in like, about life in America type things over the last week. And it is quite interesting how like everything's like, oh man, that is really awesome in America, until they get to like, oh, you get like 10 days off per year and like 2-week vacations after you work there for 4 years. Oh, yeah, that sucks. And it's like, yeah, it does suck. And anything like 3 months off feels, I don't know how I'd feel about that, because I've been so indoctrinated into the work forever mode of America. Am I using Auth0 service or Castor? I haven't actually heard of Castor. I am using Auth0 for this, and I'm currently on the free tier for it. I haven't needed to go up on top of it. The low tier is pretty good. I think it's only when it gets like the really expensive stuff, like the really, like you have a ton of things you need to do, that it becomes really expensive. I'm also using Hasura in combination with Auth0, which also works extremely well. Every year you get like 20 days holidays. It's mandated federal holiday. Nice. That's also why most Europeans call it holiday, because they literally go away for 3 months. Yeah. You get like 3x if you work. Are you allowed? So do you choose to work, or is it more of like, oh, hey, this store, we're going on holiday, but like we kind of want to keep on selling stuff. So like you're going to work, but we'll pay you at 3x. Or can you just say like, yeah, I want money. I'm going to work 3x. Some people work. Okay, not you. Nice. With that type of thing, it'd be fairly, like you could do a full project in 3 months. It's like if you wanted to spend it on upskilling yourself, then you could do all sorts of cool things with 3 months of time. Ire, hello. How are you doing today? We are working on the LMS today, and which is a web development in Rust and Vue. And although the first thing I'm going to do is sort of kind of off stream, because I'm going to be working on Auth0 stuff over here. Everything in Rust. Yeah, that you get it. Okay, so login. Okay, you watch my videos pretty much for reference for Actix. Interesting. So which videos did you watch for reference for Actix? I did do some streams, and I think I have some VODs for Actix a long time ago, but that was back before 1.0 even released, and they're on like 3 now, right? You know what I should do? I should take this code over here and throw it into an actual repo, which I don't think I did. So that's it's called like Auth0 actions. Let's see, I can git init you. I can, this is, what am I calling this one? This one is, require verified email. They have to be JavaScript, which is fun. Okay, you're trying to make an IP country service and sell it like 10 times cheaper. Like IP to country? I guess I don't really understand IP to country. Like IP addresses to country, but that's like a VPN? Oh, like ipinfo.io. Oh, I've never used ipinfo.io. I bet if I open that here, it will like spill my. IP address. And yeah, it definitely would. Okay, so trusted source for IP address data. Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. That sounds like a good cool. Yeah, I opened it up in my other window so nobody can see it. Oh, how about sharing Zellige configs? Yes. So I couldn't figure out how to have Restream do a bot type thing, like a response bot. I couldn't figure out how to set that up, which is really unfortunate. Because I do have that command on Twitch, so Twitch can do it, but not here. So let me go find it really quickly. I think this is my most, oh wait. Okay, so hold on. Also, I need to go to the right chat because that is on that computer up there, which I can't copy and paste between. So open up you. There. All right. That is, I believe, my most recent Zellige config. And if you just go to the same repo, I have like Alacrity config and Helix config in there too. I need to redo I just redid my Alacrity config, and I need to redo my Helix config because they just did another update, and apparently I need to redo my settings and the config. I've been needing to do the config for a while now because all it supports right now is Rust dev, not web dev, but I can totally make it work with web dev easily. Oh yeah, I don't have a dot files. I couldn't figure out how to. Well, use Synergy. I've heard about that. That's mouse though. That's not copy and. Oh, it supports copy and paste. Oh, okay. So hold on. Let me check out Synergy for using mouse keyboard between C and Mac. All right. There's a free version on GitHub. Don't buy it. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I think I had asked CJ at Coding Garden what he used a long time ago, and I think he probably told me Synergy. I forgot what he had said because I immediately didn't do anything with that information. So maybe this time I will. But okay, so here we're doing some web dev. We don't have any help from an LMS because I haven't configured that for Helix. So this is some middleware that runs inside of Auth0, and I get to basically choose where it runs. So right now I have this run before anything else happens. Before it creates like a token for Hasura, before it does anything else, when you attempt to log in and you give it the correct username and password, it then runs this function on execute post login. And so it comes in here, an event has information about the user and what is happening. So like the login and Auth0 and like the state of that stuff. And the API is a injected object that has a bunch of functions that we can use to do things. Like for example here, event user email verified. I'm attempting to say, hey, if you're not verified, deny you. And then I send the verification email. I wonder where my problem is. This is JavaScript, yes. So this is required. It's required that you have to use JavaScript, and you have like a couple different engine choices, although the latest LTS is always recommended. Although I think they're always like a little bit behind. I think right now they're on node 18, which is 20 is the latest LTS. 18 is still supported, but I don't know for how much longer. Okay, so you learned that from CJ too. Nice. Okay, so I see my problem. I have my if statement. Okay, so if we're not verified, deny them. Okay, and then no matter what, also send the verification email. Yeah, let's put that there. This is all I need. So what I can do is I can copy you. Also, why not do it from scratch, the two-factor email? There's a lot of reasons not to do it from scratch. I want to use a system that properly knows and does email, so I can't get like blacklisted. I don't want to have to set up all the DMARC stuff and everything else. If I need to still, like, at least there's a lot less stuff that I need to set up myself for it. So that's the plan. Okay. Hey, Zilby, you wanna? Zilby really likes to, like, when I lean back like this, so he can come lie and stare at my face. Yeah, I'm using SendGrid. So basically, okay, you wanna, if you're gonna sit there, does it matter if I'm sitting up? Hi. I don't. What are you using Auth0 for then? Auth0. Okay, so Auth0 is used for usernames, passwords, authentication, things like that. Oh, are you done with me? Okay, so he's done with me, which means it's cat time. Yeah, so I'm using Auth0 for that stores personal information, username, password, email address. Although I do copy the email address into my database too. I then I'm using SendGrid as an injector into Auth0, so it uses Auth0 for me. It has its own email system, but it's only for dev only. It's not good for production. There's no guarantee it's going to send the emails. And then something else, I guess. Oh, and then also just like for free, it works across multiple services, and I don't have to do anything else. Like, I certainly wouldn't recommend anybody doing self-rolled auth unless you're like a much larger organization. Auth0 has data leaks every 2 years. I mean, yeah, but like, so does everything else though. So I don't know. I disagree that I shouldn't use something like Auth0 in production. I think it's fine. The other thing is, like, I'm not collecting anything in Auth0 that really matters that much. Let's see, Ludic. Hello, how are you doing today? Someone use GMS2? No, it's C, Java. Oh, this is JavaScript. Sorry. It's not any of the really cool languages. It's just JavaScript. But okay, so I wanted to take you, copy you, throw you into here, and deploy you. And okay, that's up to date, which means I should be able to log in. Okay, so I could do 2 experiments now. I guess 1 experiment 2 times. I want to sign up with a new account. So okay, so we've sent you an email with the verification link. I immediately forgot what username I used, so I need to go look that up in the database. Boyamfer. Hello, how are you doing today? You're about to learn Java as soon as soon at Free Code Camp, working on your HTML CSS cert right now. Nice, excellent. Um, I so I don't necessarily agree that like Free Code Camp is bad. I don't really know of any good code camps anymore. The last ones that I would recommend have shut down. So like any of the systems that like work for people, just do like whatever it is. And it's all going to be about networking and finding new people to work with and train with and practice with. And Code Camp can help with that. I don't agree that CS50 actually gives you everything you need. I think that CS50 is a great supplement. I think that that you could do both together, but we need way more of a network of people than anything else. Baker, hello, how are you doing today? We are working on an LMS, learning management system, which is a custom web application that we built. It's written in Rust and Vue. Although right now we're testing a feature in Auth0, which requires us to write in JavaScript. So that's fun. Okay, so I have you. The name was so long that the web interface concatenated it, which didn't help. Okay, so come here. I got the email twice. So the first time I sent it twice, which is interesting. But I verified the account. Okay, so I have this in here twice. Now, if I go ahead and log in again here, and so I should actually be able to fully log in. That's fine. We come back to here. I hit refresh, and yeah, I haven't received another email. So I think that works. The problem is that I am getting 2 of these verify your emails the first time we go through it. And here's why. When I attempt to log in here, so when I create an account, it redirects back to here and attempts to log me in. So it first sends a verify email account from Auth0, and then immediately afterwards attempts to log me in and sends me another verify email account. I don't know if there's a way for me to detect if a verify email account has been sent. Yeah, doing both will help. Yeah, and that's what I recommend for anything like that. Do both. You started doing CS50, but it was just video, not hands-on. You literally roll your own 2FA these days. See, like for production type things, I don't agree with that, but I think that's mostly because it's really easy to mess it up. And so I usually try to like avoid that. Now, sometimes we don't have a choice. The way the course was set up, I mean, I was trying the Harvard CS50. I even tried Replit for a bit. Replit is okay. Oh, Replit. I used to use that all the time as just sort of like a sandbox to do some programming. Your 2FA is used by over 200 million people. Awesome. Well, then that's good. Then you're the person that proves me wrong then. Okay, so let's see. is there a way in the API, sorry, in the, not the API, is there a way in the data, so the event here, for me to tell if a verified email has been sent? It's like, if I want to do event dot, oh, that's too bad. It doesn't tell me what is inside of verify. Okay, so we need to details about the user and the context in which they are logging in. Okay, yeah, so nothing here has like, oh, that's a walkthrough. I don't want that. All right. Can I find, what is this? Actions event. Okay, event object. Okay, so event authentication. Let's see, authorization, we have client. Now I could store some stuff in metadata, but I don't think that's helpful. Connections, details about the connections used to authenticate the user. Ooh, login statistics for the current user includes the following properties: logins count, number, the number of times the user is logged in. Okay, so if I create if I basically say 0 for this, if I check to see if this is 0, then you've never logged in. Don't send the email because it's already been sent. Yeah, I think that might be it. Work for a company called Orange. We were burned pretty bad by Auth0 back in 2022. Everyone has PTSD from that. Oh, I'm sorry about that. That sucks. Okay, so I think I can check to see the logins count and see like if you've never, okay, so if you've never logged in, unless there's going to be something in API object where I can check to see how many times, or like when the last email was sent out. No, I don't think that. Okay, so it's actually just actions. Okay, so I want to check event.stats.logins count. Okay. So it's event.stats Okay, so first off, we deny you, and then I have another if statement in here, which is nice. So if events.stats dot logins count, if that's equal to 0. So really, if it's greater, well, no, that's not going to work because you're never going to be able to successfully log in. Wait, post login? I kind of want to try this with something else. Startups should never roll their own auth though. Using Castor and Auth0 is a def right choice. Yeah, and that's the thing for me is like I'm one person. I don't want to roll my own auth. It's not a good idea. Now, if you're larger, a company, definitely you should probably do something a lot more custom to yourself because you don't want to be beholden to like another company. Plus, also they get really expensive, and so like you need to move away from it, which is like, hey, it's kind of like the world we're at right now. We need to bootstrap using something there and available for us, and then we move away from it. And that's fine. Okay, so I want to see. So if we're greater than 0, then I think I want to try to send this because my guess is that every time that I attempt to log in, we get an login account. Even if it's denied, let's see. I can actually go and take a look for that user in the GUI. Yeah, logins 2. Ooh, no, that's not going to work. Okay, maybe different question. Can I set it up so it doesn't send a verification email itself and then I'm the only one who's sending it? That would be nice too. Can I do that? I don't see anything in the settings there. Maybe we could just search for this. We can also I could use a little bit of meta. Okay, so we could be setting and retrieving stuff from the user metadata wise. Wait. I can tell when they've been created, can't I? In the event object. If they've been created within the last 10 minutes, don't send the email. Otherwise, do. Created at when the user profile was first created. This could be it. It's a string timestamp. Timestamp. I believe, let's see, it's been a while since I've done anything with dates. So if I do new date, something like that. Yeah, so that actually sets. the time-based one. So I could do a new date on this string. To figure out when the account was created at. So if I do something like okay, so created at is now basically right now, it's within 5 minutes or so. And then if I just do I guess if I wait a little bit of time. Replit is really good as a sandbox. They provide free hosting for some projects. Oh, I didn't know they provided free hosting for projects. They are pretty good as a sandbox. Although I found that generally speaking, you don't really need a sandbox for a lot of things unless you're trying to share code. Then sandboxes are really good. Because like as you can see, if I want something like Replit, I just open up a console here for JavaScript, and I've just got it, and it just works. They have a limited CPU for free users, so you can only code but so much, but they do have a lot of tools like AI and Ghostwriter. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't gone there in years, so maybe they have something cool. Okay, so it's been less than 10 minutes, but it's been, I think, more than a minute. So let's create like var now. Okay, and so what I want to find out is the relative difference between these. So if I do something like now minus created at, I just get that. Is that just the number? Is that the number of milliseconds? So if I take this, let's see, milliseconds is so 1,000. So times 1,000 to become 1 second times a second. So 60 to become minutes. No, that's divided by. I want divided by. Okay, so it was 1.4 minutes. So I could do this. And then I can check to see if this is less than 10, send another email. I can even say like less than 30 or something like that. I think though 10 would be the safest. And then we can tweak this. So, okay, so now let's now take this back into here. So it's going to be user. So really, I should probably create another function. So we're going to do function should send email. We'll take in the event. We'll return a Boolean. We'll get created at okay, so it's event.user.created at. Okay, so created at, we get that. We want now. Okay, so that gives me now. I want the difference. That's going to be created. Now is always going to be a larger number, so I should do it now minus created at. And then I want the minutes to be, we're going to take the difference. That's going to be a number. So I want to divide by 1000. That turns it into seconds. And divide by 60, which turns it into minutes. Okay, so now I have minutes since we sent this. Oh, Coding Train? Yeah, Coding Train has a lot of good videos too. I do know some people who have the ability to teach somebody from scratch. I've done it myself. I used to work as a teacher doing this, so it's more of what people are actually like available, and are they still working in that field. One person that I know, he just got a new job to make some money to fund being able to go back and make his own school. So that he's not available for like a year. Everybody else is like sort of in the same boat. I am working on building the LMS up. I want the LMS to be in a good place before I start like creating a here's how to code type code schools. I tell you, Rust, yeah, but you had other experience with other languages, right? I feel like there's a huge difference between teaching like, oh, hey, this is your first experience with a language, and hey, this is your first experience with programming. Those are pretty big differences. But either way, I will take it. All right, so how should I hard code this in, or should I use this as like an injected secret? I don't think I need to inject this as a secret, but I can put this as like a constant up here. So I could do something like const, let's see, minutes, or send verification after minutes, and this would be something like 10. So I want to do something like return. Minutes is going to be, I want, let's see. If minutes is greater, okay, so minutes is greater than that. Okay, so 10, okay, so if their account is 12 minutes old, 12 is greater than 10, so therefore true should send email. If the account is 2 minutes old or less than 1 minute old, then that will be false. We should not send the email. So then up here, we're going to say if should send email, pass it in that event. Now let's send verification email. Okay, cool. So that should work. So if I copy that, and we're going to paste this into our library, because now as far as I can tell, there is no API that I can use to like in CI/CD to update this. That would be really nice. I looked for it, I couldn't find one. They do have a version history, so I can go back to older versions, which is, I guess, nice, but not as nice as being able to like actually host the source of truth somewhere else. I now have two sources of truth. You love my teaching style? It's very friendly. Nice. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, I do try to be like a lot more positive, friendly, growth mindset sort of oriented, because all the research shows that if there's any kind of fear, any kind of self-doubt, any kind of anything else in the learning process, learning doesn't happen nearly as much. So that's why I try to stay positive for everything. Okay, so this is updated, which means that we can do our test again. I didn't see one. Maybe they do, and I just completely missed it. Or maybe it's in the documentation and I didn't. I searched through their GUI for information on it. Maybe that's what it was. But okay, let's come back to here. So let's log out. We're gonna sign up with a new account. I'm gonna do okay, so we sent account there. If I come back to Mailinator and we go to the T's, I have one email. Perfect. Now, if I attempt to log in again right away, I still have one email. We have to wait for 10 minutes before I click the email to like verify that it still sends it after 10 minutes. So I guess we'll chat or do something else. You know what we can do? We can look for documentation in here. Let's see. Not manage versions. No. Okay, yeah. So this is, I think, what I looked at before. It's like, hey, just go to the dashboard to do this. But maybe there's a completely different API. Okay, APIs, management API. Hooks aren't a thing anymore, right? Like, they got rid of hooks and they replaced them with actions. Okay, so I can get my actions. Okay, I can create an action. Is that the code though, or is that... Oh, just code is a string in there. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, we could also play Wordle. You know what? I played a few Wordles myself. I am very not good at them. And which I want to say, like, as a kid, I was decently good at Mastermind, but apparently I've lost all that, and I'm terrible now. Update an existing action. If this action is currently bound to a trigger, updating it will not affect any user flows. And so I can send the source code of the action. Okay. Nice. Now, is there like a library? No. Okay. So I can set this up. All right. So let's add into an inbox item. Set up CI CD for Auth0 actions. And we have 3. I have sync users, require verified email, and then the Hasura action. Mastermind. I mean, isn't Wordle just mastermind, but with words instead of numbers? Or I guess it's not numbers, it would be positions, right? Position, like the positions of things. It's been a while since I've looked at that. Okay, ad break is going to start in 5 minutes. Doubt anyone here knows what mastermind is. Yeah, it's sure. Well, no. There's my audience tends to skew a little bit older. So I bet there's plenty of people here who knows mastermind, right? Right? One person? Maybe? I did not start a stopwatch when, okay, so the latest login attempt was 5 minutes ago. Can I see when this was created? Signed up at 8:52. Okay, so they do localize the dates to mine, which is fine. So it's been 5 minutes. We still have 5 more minutes. And we have an ad break. So that's an hour and a half ad break? No, it's a minute and a half ad break. So there's not really much for us to do during that time. We have Zilby hanging out here. Oh, and I changed it. It wasn't right. Okay. It used to be that Twitch warned me that the ads were going to start 5 minutes ahead of time. I think I changed it to it warns that we're going to have ads starting in 1 minute ahead of time. So yeah, that's bad on me. I forgot that I did that. You don't see ads because Twitch is not available in your country. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. Wait. For ads? No, congratulations on that. Sorry that you don't have Twitch in your country though. There's a few countries that Twitch is not in, and the big one they just they've been pulling out of Korea recently. Has that finished yet, or are they still? They're going through a lawsuit right now for that, aren't they? Well, thank you for that. Right now it's I think like just sort of like watching, sharing, and doing those type of things are equivalent slash even better than subs. Like, you know, to share it off. They demonetized Korea basically. Didn't they do more than demonetize Korea? They also reduced the quality of the streams too, because it was so expensive. They had to pay. They were forced to pay for the bandwidth that they were using to Korea. Yeah, 3 people from your office that follow me. Nice, excellent. That's really awesome. They can still stream, but get only donations. Basically, oh, nice. Well, thank you. So, like to me, that's amazing. That's because if you think about any type of system that's like a free to whatever, free to play, free to watch, free to learn, whatever, it's I don't like the terms, but the official terms in the industry are you have the free players, you have minnows, and you have whales. The minnows are the people who pay a little bit every once in a while. Whales are who pay a lot. Those are the famous ones, right? Those are the people you hear about, like, oh, they spent like $15,000 on, like, you know, on bits for like a streamer or something like that. It's, to me, the free is like, if you're watching for free and you want to support but you don't want to pay, you can't pay, that's perfectly fine, because sharing things out, talking about it, is perhaps even more valuable than like trying to turn into a minnow, especially if you can't afford that. Because first of all, if you can't afford it, you're gonna leave. I want you to stay here, and like, hopefully it's good for you. But then if you share it off with other people who come in, that increases the rankings and the discoverability across all the platforms. So really growing with more people is an amazing way of like helping any kind of content creator. Whales and Rise of Kingdoms. Well, whales in any games are wild. Yeah, thousands upon thousands of dollars per person sometimes, which really sucks, because oftentimes games and platforms end up catering to the whales, when I believe, and I don't have any evidence one way or the other of this, but I have this feeling that catering to free and minnows are actually the way to go, because you can't control like that you're going to get a whale, but I could like make the experience hopefully good enough to convert into minnows, which is the, hey, you want a course, buy a course. If it's really good, you'll buy another course. Is that going to be thousands of your dollars per year? No, but is it going to be like, if I get enough of you to come in, and if enough of you are like actually feeling you're getting value from it, to me, that's a metric that I'm doing a really good job. So that's sort of like the idea that I have with this. Who knows? Maybe I'm just terrible at business, and that's never going to work. But I'm going to try it. Or rather, I've been continuing to try it. All right, it is 9:02:54. Okay, so it's been over 10 minutes now since I've signed up. So I should be able to attempt to, first of all, let's come in here and refresh. I still only have one email. I want to attempt to log in again.